Hey guys, it's Kelly Durrance here with another Pilates Sculpt class. I know it's been a while since I posted, so I'm super excited for you guys to try this class. It is focused on abs and booty, and it's sure to sculpt the body, but also bringing up that heart rate. So for today's class, you're gonna need a set of 3 or 5 pound dumbbells, a Pilates core ball, and ankle weights. Now, don't worry, if you don't have ankle weights, you can still do this entire exercise. All right, so let's get sculpted. All right, so let's go ahead and get started. We are gonna start with your legs just a little bit wider than mat distance, like you're almost getting ready to be in a saw position. And we're gonna take the left hand over the right onto the ball. From here, you're gonna anchor into the sit bones and sit up nice and tall. Take a nice deep breath in. As you exhale, you're gonna round the spine and roll the ball out, pulling the rib cage back. And then inhale as you come back up. Now let's make sure we're flexing into those feet and really pressing into those heels. So again, I'm just rolling forward, pulling the rib cage back. So I'm not trying to stretch forward. I want to just flex the spine and really feel the abs work here. And then pull back up. Inhale as you come back up. Keep flexing those feet. Good. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Excellent. Now keeping those hands onto the ball. Can we sit up even taller here? I'm going to inhale as I reach that right arm up and twist over that shoulder. And then we'll bring that right hand back onto the ball. And we'll inhale as we lift and twist. Good. And bringing that hand back to the ball. Let's keep going side to side. Notice what's happening to the feet. Can we still keep those feet active? Can we still keep the legs active? Notice how I'm not leaning back in the twist. I want you to think you're growing nice and tall into that twist. Let's do 1 more each side. Last one. Excellent. Go ahead and bring that ball to the side. We're just gonna find a tabletop position here. So making sure those shoulders are over the wrist, hips are on top of those knees, and we're just gonna move through our cow-cats. I am super sore today because Saturday, this is Monday where I'm at, I took a modern reformer Pilates class where every movement is super, super slow. And I have never been this sore in my life, which is good because that means I really did something. So you might see me struggle a little bit today or go lighter than normal. All right, from here, we're going to keep that cat-like spine, curl those toes under. We're gonna hover the knees above the mat and then tap those knees back down. You wanna feel those ribs really wrap here. So hover the knees and press back down. Let's do that again. Scoop, pull the rib cage back, press back down. And down. All right, we're gonna add on here. So I'm gonna hover the knees, press back down, bend those forearms, make sure those hips stay over the heels. Don't push those hips back, right? And then come back up and hover those knees. Bend those forearms, press back up, cover the knees, Good. Let's do 4, 3, 2, last one. Hold those knees to a hover right here. We're going to press back into a down dog, hips lift up high, back to that tabletop hover. Back into down dog, really wrap and firm into those arms, tabletop hover. Let's do 4 more. Really try to get those heels to sink down, feeling that nice stretch. 3, 2, let's hold this down dog and just pedal those knees right and left. So we're getting a little bit of a stretch in those hips. I like to kind of twist side to side to maybe even get a little side body stretch here. Whatever feels good. And then we're going to tap those knees down. Bring the big toes to touch. Sit back into the child's pose and just breathe here. Excellent. Go ahead and come on up. We're going to re-grab that ball, extending those legs out in front of us. We're going to start to do some rollbacks, okay? So arms are going to reach, again, flexing those feet and anchoring those feet. We don't want those heels to lift when we start coming back and up, okay? So squeeze that ball here, pull the shoulder blades back instead of reaching here. Take a deep breath in. Exhale, you're going to tilt the pelvis, tuck the chin, press into those heels as you roll all the way back. This is where I'm going to struggle because my core is so sore from that class. Tuck the chin under, roll up. Try not to let those heels lift. Exhale, roll back down. You can kind of squeeze that ball. Keep that chest nice and wide. Try not to roll or round into the upper back. We're just flexing through the lower spine. So not here. Okay, I want you to just tuck and tilt. Keep that chest nice and wide. Basically, we're just kind of warming up the abs here. And of course, we want these to be as controlled as possible instead of just kind of flopping back, right? Good, now we're gonna start to add on. So as I roll up, I'm gonna bring the right knee to tabletop. And then I'm gonna roll back down. Roll up left knee to tabletop. Keep that chest lifted and wide and back down. So again, we're just adding on another level here, getting ready to find our teaser. Always like to work your way up towards that. All right, so you can stick with alternating knees. Now we're gonna try to do both knees when we come up. Again, you can stick with the single leg if double knees is too challenging. Chest is lifted here, navel pulls back towards that spine. Relax the shoulders. I know a lot of times we like to lift our shoulders up towards the ears. Last 2. All right, we're gonna hold this last one up. Good. Arms are gonna reach overhead. Maybe you extend the legs. Hold it here for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. Whew. Okay. We're gonna bring the ball now underneath the heels. Hands are gonna go behind the head. Now, I want you to really be mindful here. We don't want this huge arch in the back. I want you to try to tilt the pelvis as much as you can. Now, because our heels are on the ball, we're not gonna be able to press our back completely onto the mat. But I do want you to feel these upper ribs kind of pull together. All right, from here, we're gonna start some crunches up and down. I want you to make sure when you peel up, you're wrapping these ribs. You have an apple or orange underneath that chin, and my elbows are not going in. This is where I'm gonna pull on my neck, and we don't want that. Even if you can't come up as high, we wanna keep that nice alignment, not pulling on the neck, using our abs to lift, not our neck. Again, don't let that back arch. Now we're gonna start to pull the knees in as we crunch up. So knees are gonna go in as you slide the ball, keep the elbows wide, and then come back out. And out. I like to exhale on the challenging part. Good. Let's do 4 more. 3, 2. Last one. You're going to hold the crunch up right here, little pulses. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come all the way down. Perfect. All right. From here, we're going to come onto our back with the ball underneath the right foot. We're going to do a little bit of bridge work. So I want you to think you're going to be pressing more into that left foot. There's barely any pressure on that right foot. All right, here we go. I'm going to press up, squeezing into that left glute and down. Again, I'm really barely pushing in. I want to reiterate this. You're not really pressing into that right foot at all. You're just pushing into that left foot. And if you feel too much hamstring engagement, then you can bring that heel, that left heel closer to the glute. I want you to think about pressing into the shoulder blade so you're widening through those collarbones. Lift and lower. Good. Lift and lower. Squeeze, squeeze, squeeze. 2 more, then we're going to add on. Last one, hold it up. You're going to extend that right leg with that ball. Don't let the hips drop. Pull it in, lower those hips down. Maybe place your hands onto those hips to make sure your hips stay nice and level, because the tendency is to want to drop one hip like that. And we want to try to keep the hips nice and level. Extend, bend, and lower. Oh my goodness, this is already burning. You have 3. Then we're gonna hold the hips up. 2, you can do this. Trust me, I am feeling this. Last one, good. From here, you're gonna bring that ball in and out. Keep those hips lifted. You can do it. Press into that left foot, right shoulder blade to help. Left foot, right shoulder blade. 2, 1. Good. Hold the hips up. We pulse the hips. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower those hips. All right, we're going to windshield wiper those knees side to side. Man, that was tough, especially since I'm already sore. Okay, we have one more core before we go into the other side. So legs are gonna extend overhead. Good. I'm gonna take that ball into the right hand, but I'm gonna bring it onto that left shin, all right? From here, I'm gonna crunch up and then switch. And then I'm gonna lower that opposite leg, okay? So each time I have to switch the hand to the thigh, switch the hand that's behind the head, lower that opposite leg. You can do it. Good. Let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way down. Great. Okay, that was kind of a little bit of an intermission before we come onto the other side for the hip. So, ball's gonna go underneath the left foot now. Now this left side's already been worked, but we should be okay because remember, we're not putting pressure on this foot. We're putting that pressure into the right leg. So I'm gonna press the hips up and down. Again, make sure that heel, that right heel is somewhat close to the glutes. Because we're doing single leg work, we don't wanna feel this super deep in the hamstrings. We wanna feel more glute activation. And then make sure you're pressing into the shoulder blades so you're widening through those collarbones. I'm just driving those hips straight up and straight down. You may notice that one side is stronger than the other. I always like to start with my weaker side. 3. You can do it. We're going to add on here 2 and 1. Here we go. I'm going to press those hips up, extend that leg out, pull that knee in, lower the hips down. Again, maybe take your hands onto the hips, making sure you're leveling the hips out when you extend that leg. Make sure you're squeezing through those inner thighs, especially when we bring that ball back in. Don't want this right knee to splay out. 3 more, because it's burning. 2. Last one, hold the hips up. Here we go. Ball goes in, ball goes out. 3. 2, squeeze into that right glute. 1, hold the ball in, pulse the hips. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. My goodness, I barely felt like my hips were lifting up here. Let's windshield wiper those knees side to side. And then let's go ahead and extend the legs, shake them out. We're gonna do a roll up to come up. This time we're gonna find a stretch. Deep breath in, exhale, tuck the chin, knit the ribs in. I'm gonna reach up and over that ball. This time I wanna feel that stretch in the back of the legs. Beautiful. Okay, go ahead and come up. We are going to come onto the knees, do a little bit of upper body work before we move back in to some leg work. All right, I have 2 sets of weights, just like I said at the beginning of class because I feel like my biceps, triceps are stronger than my shoulders. So you may have to kind of adjust. So we're gonna come into a kneeling position, rolling those shoulders back. We're gonna bring the elbows in and we're gonna do like a little rotator cuff movement. Now, slightly tuck the hips under so you're feeling this neutral spine. I always say slightly because we just want that hip bone and pelvic bone to be in alignment. And I think of these forearms as like a hinge at the door, right? So I'm opening that hinge, closing that hinge. Each time I may be squeezing the shoulder blades together so I feel the chest kind of widen here. Yes. And you may even want to curl the toes under. That may feel a little bit better for the knees. It's really what feels good for your body. I always say take it. All right, we're gonna add on here. So I'm gonna open up that hinge at the door. I'm gonna serve the arms up, bring the elbows in, and then close. Yes. Woo, this is where I really start to feel those biceps and shoulders. Pull those elbows and notice how I'm not lifting the elbows away from the body. I want to keep the elbows glued until I reach those arms up. All right, we have one more, guys. Okay, from here, we're just gonna do the arms for 8. Really reach, come on, you can do it. 7, lift those arms all the way up. 6, 5, 4, you can see I'm struggling here. 3, 2, 1, hold the arms out laterally. We reach the palms up and down. Come on, for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Whew, relax the arms down. All right, I'm gonna try to stick with the 5s, but feel free to go to those 3s if you need to. I'm gonna curl my toes under for this one because I'm gonna start to add a squat. So I'm gonna lift my arms up, candlestick arms. I'm gonna squat back, arms reach up, palms up. So candlestick, palms forward, press back, palms up for triceps. Good. Notice how I'm not rounding into the spine. I want to keep the chest lifted. I'm not even going too far down here. You want to be here. And then I'm going to reach the arms up. Exhale on the down. Inhale as you lengthen up. Three, we're going to change it up here in a minute. 2, 1, hold the arms out. Now we row. My elbows are going to kind of come right by my side here, and I'm doing that same hinge. Squeeze it for 4, 3, 2. We're going to stay back in this squat right here, kickbacks. Come on, you can do it. Think shoulders square forward. We're squeezing into the shoulder blades. Elbows stay lifted. I'm not dropping the elbows and swinging the arms. Okay, I want to keep the elbows lifted. Hug the elbows in. Come on. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Woo. Arms should be on fire. Okay. Place those weights to the side. Now, remember I said if you have ankle weights, let's go ahead and get those out. If you don't have ankle weights, it's okay. You're gonna be able to do this exercise without them. This is just if you wanna add a little bit extra, which of course, that is how I roll. All right, so I'm gonna come onto all fours. I'm gonna grab my ball here once again, all right? I'm gonna place the ball underneath the right hand, making sure my hips are over the knees. I'm not back here. I'm not too far forward, okay? I'm gonna slide that right arm out as I extend that left leg, and then I'm gonna bring it back in. Good. Perfect. So see, I'm just adding that little extra weight to get into my glute. And then just make sure this left shoulder is underneath, or excuse me, on top of that wrist. Good, I just had to kind of fix that because I saw myself. Really squeeze into that glute. Okay, we're gonna add on. Good. So I'm gonna extend the right arm, bend that left arm, press it up, bring it back in. Extend, bend, press, bring it back in. If that is too challenging, you can take that part out. You're gonna feel a little bit of triceps there. And done. I'm starting to kind of bring this left knee into the chest. If that feels good for you, take that. If not, then you can just bring the knee back down and give yourself a moment. Good. Let's do 3, 2, and 1. Good, bring it all the way in. Okay, from here, we're gonna come into a side plank. So I'm gonna extend the legs and I'm gonna turn my hips to the side and reach the arms up. Holding this nice side plank here, I'm gonna thread that arm through and then come back up. So ball's still in that right hand. 2, and 1. Drop down to that left hip. I don't normally like to have my backside from you guys, but I'm gonna stay here. So I'm gonna come on to that left forearm, extending the legs. Ball still in that upper hand. I'm gonna roll my hips back onto that bottom glute and lift the legs for my teaser. And then I'm gonna roll back to center. So again, I'm rolling onto that left glute, lift the legs, squeeze into that right oblique. Good. Now, if lifting the legs straight is too much, you can bend the knees and come in. But eventually you're gonna have to hold them straight. Good, let's do 2 more. Last one, I want you to hold the legs up. That bottom leg's gonna lower and lift. Try not to round the spine here. Pull yourself up, you can do it. 4, 3, 2, hold that leg down, little circles. Come on, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and come on down. All right, let's go ahead and face back to tabletop. How did that feel? Awesome, right? I could really feel it on my right side, even though I am already super sore on that side. All right, we're gonna come into the other side. So ball's gonna go underneath the left hand. Make sure this right shoulder is underneath that wrist. I'm gonna slide that ball out and then bring it back in. Slide that ball out. Bring it back in. Good. Try not to open up that right hip when you extend the leg. I don't want you to think how high can I get that leg. I want you to think how much can I just lengthen that leg behind me, squeezing into that glute versus trying to lift and arch into the back like this, right? I want to keep that spine neutral. Okay, we're going to add that tricep dip. So I extend, dip, lift, come back up. Again, if that part is too challenging, you can take that dip out. It's almost like we're doing a tricep push-up, so it's pretty challenging. Really hug that right elbow in if you're taking that tricep dip. Good, give me 3 more. 2. Last one. Good, bring that ball underneath the left hand. Find your plank pose, and then you're gonna open it up to the left for that side plank. If you need to modify, one knee can come down. I should have said that on the other side. We're gonna thread that ball. So I'm gonna thread that ball through. Last 2. 1. Good. Come on to that right hip. We're gonna come on to that right forearm. Legs are straight. Ball reaches. My feet are slightly out in front of me versus completely out to the side. That's gonna help you rock. So I'm gonna rock onto that back hip, squeeze, and then come back. Good. This is probably one of my favorite exercises because of how deep it gets into those obliques. And we always need help with ladies with those side hips. Good, let's do 3 more. 2. Okay, we're gonna hold this one up. Bottom leg goes down and up. Remember, you could always take the ankle weights off. It's a little too late now. Again, hold the chest up, don't round. Push, lift. 3, 2, 1. Little circles. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Come all the way up. Oh my goodness, that was amazing. Let's go ahead and take the ankle weights off. We're gonna do some yoga to stretch. I need it today. All right, coming back into that down dog. Pressing the chest towards the thighs. Take that right leg up, bend the knee, open up the hip. See if you can gaze underneath that right shoulder. Feel that opening in the hip. Then right leg's gonna reach up. I'm gonna bring it through. Back knee's gonna drop down. Arms are gonna reach overhead. Sink into those hips. Good. Maybe take the hands to the inside of that foot. Heel toe that foot out. Maybe you lift the back leg up for your dragon or lizard. You can come onto those forearms. And then drop that back knee down. We'll come back onto the hands if you took it that far. Heel toe that foot out, or excuse me, heel toe that foot in, and then press back down dog. Left leg's gonna lift. Bend the knee, open the hip. Left leg lifts back up. Go ahead and bring it all the way through. Back knee drops down. Hands come to the inside of that foot. Heel toe that left foot out. Again, option to stay on the hands, option to keep the back knee down, or option to take it up onto the forearms and lift that back leg. Good. If that knee was lifted, tap it back down. Come back up onto those hands. Heel toe that foot in. Good. And then press back into your down dog one more time. And then tap those knees down. Come into your child's pose. And just kind of recenter, refocus here. Right, go ahead and come have a nice, comfortable seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Good. Arms are going to reach up, inhale. And then we're going to take a nice side body stretch over to the right. Try to spiral underneath that left shoulder. Maybe even take that hand behind the head. Oh, yeah. Really reach. And then we'll come into that other side. Hand behind the head if you want to take this a little bit deeper. And then arms are going to reach back up. Hands to heart center. Thank you so much, everyone, for joining me in this amazing Pilates class. If you like this class, please like, comment, and share so I can get this channel up and going. Thank you so much. Just a reminder, I am hosting a yoga and Pilates retreat next September 2027 to Greece. I have one room available. The link to my website is on my page, so check that out. And if you are ever wondering what I take daily, functional nutrition that really helps with my energy, my brain fog, and my gut, I'm going to link it in the notes here as well. These are cellular repair products that have completely changed my life, given me my spark back, giving me my energy back, brain fog gone. I have information on that as well, and I hope everyone has a great rest of your week.